You've gotten incorporated, everything is in order, and now all of a sudden you're getting all of these solicitations in the mail. Your mailbox is filled with junk mail, and you can't even decipher sometimes what needs to be addressed and what's just purely junk. So we're going to take some time to go through and identify some of the most common items that you're going to receive in the mail and how to handle it. Now, of course, there are some things that you might get that's unique that we don't address. But in that regards, feel free to call a professional. Call our office. Make sure that you can identify it and address it before you toss it or shred it. So here we go. This right here represents the most common of solicitations that you're going to get as a corporation. It is what is considered corporate compliance. Now, we deal with corporate compliance in our sessions because, as you know, every year you have to have your annual meetings, or if you make a decision, you have to have your resolutions. These are the types of things that you want to have on file in your corporate records binder. Now, with that said, when you get these private companies that solicit you, they're going to look really official. They're going to cite code, and they're going to say, look, if you're not in this corporate compliance, you can be fined. You're in danger of losing your corporate rights. But of course, you've been educated and you understand that your corporate records don't go to any outside agency. You don't turn them into any agency. There's no Secretary of State that requires minutes on file with their in their office. So your records are actually something that you keep internally. So you have to keep them in your binder, in your files, and it's something that you maintain, and you address it or you supply it when required. But their solicitations make you feel as though, oh my gosh, I'm not in compliance. I've got to turn this into them. And after you pay them the fee, what they're going to do is they're going to send you back a generic set of minutes for you to stick in your binder. Now, if you want to pay them to do that, that is up to you. Our office provides that service, and if you wanted to, you can actually do that and maintain that yourself. But the key is to not be intimidated into believing that you have to go with one of these companies, and I'm going to show you why. In their documentation, and we've got a lot of examples here, basically the headlines look very, very official. They look like they're from a state agency. Whether you see eagles, whether you see that they are they represent headquarters, or if they have seals that look like California seals, whether it is that they actually emulate and look like your annual statement of information. So you're going to see a variety of forms, but the key is to identify these between your annual statement of information is really small on the bottom. Now this one's pretty big, but really typically in various sizes, either on this sheet or even on the envelope, it will say that we are not a government agency and this is not a bill, invoice, or statement of account due. And only if you fill this out and send it in to them will you owe them that money. And so this is the key, is that you want to look on these forms and say, okay, let me look for that small print that says somewhere that this is a solicitation for the order of services, not a bill, invoice, or statement of account due. You are under no obligation to make any payment of any kind unless you accept this offer. Now their prices vary anywhere from $150 to $325. And the thing is that you're not going to know what you're going to get, and I'll explain to you. These forms in this form of solicitation, they're one sheets. How in the world, in one sheet of paper, can you describe everything that you've done for an entire year? They're only asking you mailing address, officers' names, shareholders' names, directors' names, just the basic static information that maybe didn't change or people that got reappointed into these positions, which is the bare minimum that you have to do for that annual meeting. But I guarantee that if you're engaged in any type of business, if you're fulfilling any of your goals in business, that you've done some activity that requires more than just this one page. So I really recommend that you take time to really think through what are the important things that you have to record, and don't fall prey to any of these solicitations that will never be able to fully encompass what it is that you do. So that's the first type that you're going to get in the mail, and you're going to get a lot of it, and you're going to get it every year because they know when you filed your articles, because that's public information, and they're going to make sure that they're going to solicit. Imagine how many people don't have consultants that help them, and they send in $150, $200 just because, and get back, a few sheets of paper that say, hey, these are your annual minutes, and they just keep doing that every year. So for them, it's a great system, and for you, it could be exactly what you don't need to capture the information of what you've done.